Friends, I'm glad to welcome you all. In this video, we'll talk about how to copy trade with leverage on decentralized exchanges. Specifically, we'll explore platforms for finding and analyzing profitable wallets that trade with leverage. And step by step, we'll set up a copy trading bot that will allow you to replicate the trades of margin traders. In fact, this is a new direction that almost no one is talking about right now. I'm sure this information will be useful. Enjoy watching. So in this video, we'll talk about several platforms and let's break them down one by one. First of all, I'd like to start with a platform called Hyperliquid. Simply put, Hyperliquid is a decentralized exchange where you can trade not only the usual meme coins, but also major assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other established large cap altcoins, meme coins, and so on. This platform also allows you not only to make regular trades, let's say spot trades, but it allows you to trade with leverage. Note that there are a lot of different pairs here. For example, take Bitcoin. We can trade it with up to 40 times leverage, or Ethereum with up to 25 times leverage. Overall, there are quite a lot of different pairs being traded here, including meme coins and major meme coins as well. And yes, even the established ones, which we can also short. The main advantage and difference of this exchange compared to centralized exchanges is that you don't store your funds on the exchange itself. Instead, they remain in your trading wallet. In other words, you connect your address here, deposit crypto to it, and then you can make trades using those funds. And at any moment, you can easily withdraw your funds to any other wallet without any additional confirmations from the exchange. Another key point is that you can freely track all the wallets trading on Hyperliquid and view all their transactions, which of course is not possible on a centralized platform. That's why you can say that trading on Hyperliquid is as transparent and secure as possible, and it offers a lot of advantages. Overall, that's why Hyperliquid is now attracting a lot of liquidity and drawing significant attention. And of course, many traders are moving from centralized platforms specifically to trade on Hyperliquid. So let's figure out how to find profitable wallets, how to track them, and how to automatically copy their trades. So it all starts with searching for wallets. First of all, it's worth noting that Hyperliquid has a page called the leaderboard. Let's go to it. And in this section, we see a list of wallets that we can filter, for example, by ROI over the last 30 days. We can see both the most unprofitable wallets and the most profitable ones. You can also filter by P&L. This way, at the very top, we see very successful traders who have made huge amounts of money over the past 30 days. And here we can also search for any wallet. Look, what I want to draw your attention to here is that there are addresses that are not just a random set of characters, but are actually labeled. Yes, so usually these are some well-known personalities whom we can also track. So we simply go to the profile, and here we see the wallet address, which we can copy and then proceed with our analysis. We'll talk about that now. There's also a platform called Apexliquidbot. And in the top trades section, we can see all the most interesting wallets that have performed well over time. It's all pretty straightforward here. We see the percentage growth of each trader's deposit, and we can see the time of their last trade. Overall, the interesting wallets are already sorted here, but of course, in any case, you need to look at them in more detail, and only after that can you start following them. But now let's talk in more detail about this, what to look for, and which nuances to pay attention to. In fact, I conducted a very thorough analysis and went through a ton of different services that allow you to analyze wallets. And I want to say that out of all of them, only one service really stands out right now. It's called DEXs. This service not only allows us to find wallets we're interested in based on specific parameters, but also provides detailed information about the transactions of any given wallet. So let's now take a detailed look at this service. Look, everything here is pretty straightforward. First of all, you'll need to log in. I'll leave a link to the service below the video. Next, you connect your wallet and get access to the platform. Accordingly, to search for wallets, you first need to go to the Discover Wallets section. In fact, we're already in this section right now, and here, in the left menu, we can set specific criteria to search for the wallets we're interested in. This allows us to set values such as P&L. For example, you can set it from $10,000 to $50,000, so you do not see addresses that are too large, like whales and so on. And you can specify, for instance, a win rate starting from 80%. I also recommend limiting the number of trades. This way you won't see various bots and different services that provide market making. Next, if we scroll down, we can also limit the number of transactions. But in this case, I'll set it from 5 to 100, so it's not too few and not too many. In the next section, Performance Filter, I won't set anything. And let's take a look at the last section, Data Filters. And in this section, you need to set the time of the most recent trades so you can see only active traders, not those who traded 6 months ago, but current wallets that you could say are trading in real time. After that, click Search and the service will select all wallets that match the filters you've set. I want to add that I have set these filters myself. You could say I did it quickly and logically just by identifying the category of wallets that interest me. But as a rule, these are traders with small amounts but who achieve good results, have a good P&L, and are active. Of course, you can set your own filters using your own logic. Basically, as they say, there are no limits to your imagination here. So now let's work with the wallets that have been exported here for us. I'll note right away that we have a lot of different columns here. Well, for example, wallet. Logically, yes, that's the wallet. Here, you can copy it by clicking. P&L here, I think, is also self-explanatory. Everything is in dollars, yes. As for P&L, to be honest, I didn't really understand what this column means. If you know, please write in the comments. But in general, the main thing we need to look at is the P&L. Also here we can see, as I understand it, the futures balance. Win rate, of course, of the trades, the percentage of which are positive. Also, total win-loss, that is, how many trades there were in total, how many were positive, and how many were negative. Here, I recommend paying attention specifically to the number so that there aren't too many transactions. And make sure that the ratio is good. But in general, when you set such filters, naturally most of the wallets here will be positive. There is also a long panel and a separate short panel is displayed, which allows you to draw conclusions about which trades a particular wallet mainly profits from, long or short trades. Basically, there are a bunch of other columns here, but in reality, they're not particularly important to us. This is if you want to go deeper, maybe notice some nuances or do further analysis. But basically, to find good wallets, the panel is enough, as well as understanding the wallet's win rate and monitoring it. The total number of trades over a certain period. For easier filtering, you can also download the table here. Let's do that. And basically, let's open the downloaded file. Here we see a table where we can work with the entire export of wallets, sorted in detail, and so on. In general, it might be more convenient to use the table. Well, it's up to you. Use whichever way you prefer. Now, so as not to waste a lot of time, I've already prepared and selected a few interesting wallets in advance. By the way, I'll leave these wallets in my Telegram channel, so after watching the video you can go there and search for the name of this video, which will also be the name of the post. You can just find it in Telegram using the search. And in that post you'll find the wallets we're about to discuss. For convenience, I'll show you right away. Here, you can mark wallets with a star, and after that, they'll move to the tracker section. You click here, track wallet, and here in the list we can already see all the wallets I've added. To start analyzing, I just click on the address of the wallet, and first of all we see this kind of chart. Simply put, this is a chart that shows how the deposit of a particular wallet has grown. Here I recommend setting it to either a month or the entire period so the whole picture is clear. It's important to look for charts that don't jump up and down like a zigzag but instead grow steadily. Thus, we understand that this trader gradually increased his capital, and now he has made very decent amounts. Here we also see his win rate and total P&L for all time. Also, if we go down below, for example, there is a section called Open Position, that is, Open Positions, and there is Trade History, that is, Trading History. Here we can see all of it recently. Open trades, and pay attention to the time right away. It is important that hundreds or tens of transactions do not open in 1 minute, because this is how bots usually work. But here we see in principle that this is a fairly adequate trader who has recently closed a large number of trades in a row with a good plus. And we also see that there were some small losses, but of course the profits more than made up for them. So in general, the whole picture of all his trades is clearly visible here. But I also noticed that wallets often show some minimal losses, like a few dollars or a few dozen dollars. Compared to his overall profit, this is of course insignificant. And in general, I think these losses are due to the platform charging a commission. These are exactly the commission percentages that each wallet pays. Because if we go, for example, to the completed trades section, here we can already see all his completed trades that he has ever made, and overall, the whole picture is clear. Let's now analyze a few more wallets. For example, let's open Smart2, and here we see that this is also a wallet. It's quite interesting. Its balance was gradually increasing, but there was a certain drawdown in April, after which it returned to a good turnover, and at its peak it had about $2 million on its balance. So of course, most likely he opens large positions. Let's take a closer look. By the way, we can see that he currently has 2 open positions, one in Aave and one in Hype. The trade in Aave is for $12,000. Right now it's bringing him a profit of 13, yes, and the Hype position is $5,000. And also, if we go to the trade history section, let's take a look at his recent trades. We can see that lately he's been making only profits. Well, there are some small losses, which are most likely related to commissions, so you could say that this wallet belongs to some insider because it's all profits. And accordingly, we understand that this wallet At the very least, it's worth keeping an eye on it, and at most you could set it up for copy trading. We can also see that he had some major losses, but nevertheless he managed to cover them and ended up with a good profit. Let's also take a look at all the completed trades. Here's the overall statistics. And overall, we can see that this wallet has done quite well on the market over time. So at the very least, it's worth keeping an eye on it. I also want to show you an interesting story related to Hyperscan. By clicking here, we go deeper into it. In Hyperscan, under the orders section, we can see the orders he has placed for sale. In other words, we can know where this wallet wants to close its positions, which is of course very convenient. For example, the DEXs bot doesn't highlight this information yet, but by going to Hyperscan, we can see his current orders. And let's open another wallet. This wallet isn't particularly large. We can see that its balance is $11,000, and over all time it has made about $10,500. Basically, he started with a small balance and it gradually grew, so in fact he has made a decent profit over the last few months. Let's take a closer look at his entire history. We can see that right now he's long on Bitcoin with 6 times leverage, and his profit is only $100. In the trade history section, we can see that recently he has had some small losses, but of course there are more profitable trades, and those are for more substantial amounts. So overall, this trader is in the positive. Now let's move on to completed trades. And we can see that in most cases, he secures a good profit on his closed trades. So this wallet is also worth keeping an eye on. And accordingly, after you have found good wallets, analyze them in detail, observe that they behave reasonably, you can try setting them up for copy trading, that is, for automatically replicating their trades. Look, this platform has copy trading implemented, but for some reason, I wasn't able to use it right now. And I used another bot for copy trading, which is very simple. It's easy to use and works very quickly. So let's now take a closer look at how to work specifically with the bot for copy trading. So for copy trading, I used Apexliquidbot, so far only with small amounts. And actually, I've already had 2 successful trades here. One closed at 2.5% and the second was similar, closing at plus 2%. I'll leave a link to this bot below the video so you can check it out. After registering, you get default wallets, or you can import your own address. Then you top up your trading address. I topped up in USDC, specifically on the Arbitrum network. Be careful. And after that, go to the copy trading section. Right now, I have 3 wallets set up here. So basically, to add wallets, you need to click Add. Then, in the Target Wallet section, you paste the wallet you want to copy trade with Hyperliquid. The copy rate section. I didn't change it, so just leave it at 1 times. Also in the min section, set the minimum amount in size. Let's say that will be $50. And for the maximum size, for example, let's set it to $1,000. Next, choose what exactly you want to copy. You can select both longs and shorts, or you can set it to copy only long positions or only short positions. Here, by clicking, everything is done quite simply, and let's also set the minimum balance for the target wallet. Usually you can just set the minimum value here. Let's make it $1,000. And what do you need to do next? Click Create, and the wallet will be added to copy trading. But I also want to point out that you can copy wallets in reverse. That is, if you find a losing wallet and see that it consistently closes trades at a loss, you can set up reverse copy trading. That means if the wallet opens a short position, you will open a long position following it. In this way, you can copy trade wallets in reverse, including those of various well-known personalities. For example, recently James Wynn, as everyone knows, was opening large positions on Hyperliquid, and in the end, he got liquidated. Constantly. Basically, the guy lost everything, but by trading his trades in reverse, you could have made money. So keep in mind, this is a useful strategy here, and you can also apply it. So basically, we click Create, let's do that, and the wallet gets connected for copy trading. After the trade is opened, you'll receive a notification like this, which tells you whether it's a short or long, the position size, and the leverage, and so on. And after the trade is closed, you receive a card like this, which shows your P&L. Here are the main advantages. I want to emphasize that this copy trading method is perfect for people with large capital. Also, the niche is relatively new. Right now, almost no one is talking about this. Believe me, very few people are actually doing copy trading. Although, as you can see for yourself, there are plenty of wallets here with good P&Ls, which you can easily find and set up for copy trading in just a few seconds. So it would be a shame not to take advantage of this information, or at least not to try it out. It's a new direction to explore for yourself. Of course, there are risks as well, so don't forget about them. You always need to analyze wallets in detail. You should start by testing with small amounts, and then, if you see positive results, gradually increase your trading deposit. Also, unlike regular DEX copy trading, when wallets enter low liquidity tokens and you can immediately become the exit liquidity for others. Here, that problem won't occur. Or at least if it does, it would take millions of dollars for it to happen. Copy trading in order for the wallet to notice a tail following it and immediately start unloading. Why? Because Hyperliquid tokens are extremely liquid. In other words, there's a lot of money in them, and to move the price even a little, you need a very significant volume. That's why, on this platform, you can copy trade calmly without worrying that the wallet will enter some scam or honeypot. Of course, there are no honeypots on this exchange. And generally speaking, you really don't need to worry much about people dumping on you. That's basically the information. Make use of these services, put them into practice. Right now is the perfect time to start, or at least to start learning about this area, because again, the competition is minimal. And if you still have questions, don't hesitate to write in the comments. I'll try to answer all of them. And subscribe to the channel, because I'll also be making more videos about copy trading on Hyperliquid in the future. I'll be highlighting even more interesting points and sharing my own results regarding this whole story. So this isn't goodbye. I hope the video was helpful. See you next time.